I get excited when grad students are doing their interviews. It's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I'm glad I found an LMHC to do it with, because I was having trouble at first, but I'm glad I reached out. Okay, how long have you been working as a professional counselor?
I started my grad school internship in May of 2020, and then I got this job in August of 2021.
Okay, nice. What do you like best about your job?
That's a good question. There's a lot to love about it. I think being in a group practice, you get the community too. So, like there's a lot of other therapists that you can create relationships with. So that's a big fun part of it. And then also seeing the growth in clients. It's really rewarding. Even though sometimes it can be heartbreaking listening to a lot of the stories and stuff, it is way more rewarding than it is draining.
That's good to hear, 'cause that's something, like, I was a little bit worried about at first with going into it, like, it's I know it's gonna be, like, a really difficult job, but, like, I
Yeah.
always wondered, how it was, you know? So,
Yeah, it's just about finding a balance.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. What are the job requirements? The role that you do every day, let's say.
So, like, there's treatment planning and diagnosing, but a lot of the beginning is like figuring out social support, what's going on, why they're coming to counseling, seeing any symptoms of anything, and then creating that treatment plan with them. So, what they're coming to counseling for and how they want to work through it. So, a lot of it is working with the client, not for the client. Because if you're working harder than they are, then it's probably not time for them to be in therapy right now. But a lot of those requirements, I think it's really just building that rapport with the client, like the empathy and the personal connection on a therapeutic level, not like too personal, but like creating that rapport that makes them feel safe. That's probably the biggest one.
Okay. So what have been some of the changes you have recognized in the counseling profession over your career?
Well, actually, they already came out with a new DSM in my time counseling, so that's kind of crazy. The TR something, the newest one. But some other changes, I think that Florida is kind of changing a little bit too. And I know that they're working on making it, what's the word, where you can like move to another state and still be licensed. And they're really working hard on that. And I heard that they have like 12 states that are in agreement to do it, but nobody's like working together to create a universal standard for therapists. So hopefully that they continue working on that, and then they can make it so people can move around and not have to get re-licensed.
Yeah, that would be really nice. That's something I've thought about too. Maybe I don't want to live in Florida like
Yeah.
forever. So like I've thought like, oh, maybe I want to go to another state, but how is it going to be like getting licensed? So hopefully that's something they keep like working on. What is your counseling theoretical orientation?
I'd say that mostly person-centered, and it's about creating that connection and making them feel safe in the unconditional positive regard. And I think right off the bat, that's the most important part for me is making them feel safe and heard. And then after that, I'll add sprinkle in some different things like from narrative therapy is a big one for me, some existential things and some gestalt. Um, but yeah, I'd say maybe the main two are probably person-centered and narrative.
Um, are there any credentials or certifications you would recommend getting?
I am an EMDR therapist, and I recommend that one. I
Okay.
think, yeah, because grad school teaches you a broad spectrum of things. Like you just kind of get the overview of everything, but you have to do continuing ed no matter what to keep your license. So you might as well try something and like stick with that. So EMDR was something I did while I was in grad school, like an extra training on the side. And I've been using it for 3 years now, and I think that one I've seen the changes that it's made in people's lives, so I stick with that one.
Okay, that's good to know. What suggestions would you have for someone entering the profession?
I would say the best thing you can do now is figure out a good balance between work and personal life. Like how much social time you want to spend and how to balance that out with the work that you'll put in to other people. What I mean by that is like seeing clients all day and then going home empathy because you run out. Like there's compassion fatigue. But you wanna get a good balance of, like, self-care, and I know they probably preach that in your program. So, finding that balance now of how to take care of yourself, and you won't quite get an exact balance until you figure out what it's like to be counseling all day long and then come home because it gets heavy, but you start out kind of slow and then add clients in. But I'd say that's the biggest part is self-care and taking care of yourself.
Yeah, that is something they, like, really preach. Okay. That was my last question. Do you have anything else that you think would be, like, helpful for me as, like, going into, like, my grad program? Like, do you have any tips or anything?
Um, I would suggest therapy for yourself, but I think that helped me the most was having my own therapist. And even now, I suggest doing your own therapy and finding out your own problems and triggers and biases and anything you need to work out before you get into the field.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I got a lot of really good information today. I really appreciate like taking the time to like meet with me and answer my questions as like a brand new grad student. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Of course, I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited. Very first semester.
How exciting! Oh my gosh.
That's so excited. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I hope you love it.